You hear about AI everywhere, right? It feels like this all-powerful, all-knowing force that's changing everything. But what if I told you that, behind the curtain, the AI we use every single day has some pretty serious, hard-coded limitations? Today, we're pulling that curtain all the way back to see what AI really can't do.
All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to bust the myth of smart AI. Then, we'll dig deep into its three biggest blind spots: the understanding gap, its one-trick pony problem, and what I call the data dilemma. And then, we'll wrap it all up by looking at why any of this actually matters.
So let's just jump right in with the big question. Is the AI in your phone actually a genius? I mean, think about it. We ask it stuff, it spits out answers, it seems pretty smart. But what's really going on under the hood is a whole different story.
See, what we're actually dealing with most of the time is something called weak AI. Now, don't let the name fool you, this stuff can be incredibly powerful. But the thing is, its intelligence is super, super narrow. It's built to be amazing at one single predefined task, but, and this is the kicker, it does it all without any real understanding or awareness. And that right there, that's the key difference.
And that tees up our first major limitation perfectly: the understanding gap. This is the core of why an AI, even when it gives you the perfect answer, just doesn't get it. Not in the way a human does.
And just look at the contrast here. It's pretty stark. You and I, our intelligence is adaptable, right? We're intuitive, we can read a room, we understand context. But weak AI, it's the total opposite. It's rigid. It's just following a set of rules completely stuck in this programming. Seriously, think of it like this. It's a world champion pattern matcher, but it's not a thinking being. Not even close.
Okay, here's a perfect example we all use every day. Google Maps. It's an absolute marvel of weak AI, right? It crunches a mind-boggling amount of data to find the fastest route. But it has zero idea why you're in a hurry. Are you rushing to the hospital? Late for a huge meeting? Or maybe you just really need a taco, like right now. It completely misses the human context, the urgency, the why. It's just executing a command, plain and simple.
And that leads us right into the next big limitation, which I like to call the one-trick pony problem. This is where an AI can be an absolute world-class genius at one specific job, and a complete dunce at literally anything else.
See, unlike us, an AI can't just transfer its skills. If you get really good at chess, you might take that strategic thinking and apply it to a business negotiation. An AI? No way. Its knowledge is totally locked in, siloed. For every single new task, it has to be retrained from scratch, from absolute zero. And you can imagine that makes it super inefficient anytime you need a little flexibility.
Okay, get this. Imagine an AI that has totally mastered the unbelievably complex task of driving a car. I mean, it's seeing the road, predicting what other drivers will do, navigating. It's just brilliant. Now, what if you ask that same exact AI to answer a simple customer service email? Total system failure. It would be completely lost. It literally wouldn't compute.
Okay, on to our third and maybe most critical limitation, the data dilemma. And you really want to pay attention to this one, because it's all about the fuel that these AIs run on. You know that old saying from computer science, garbage in, garbage out? Well, for AI, it has never been more true.
This quote from the source material just nails it. The effectiveness of weak AI is directly tied to the quality and completeness of data it receives during training. Just let that sink in for a second. An AI learns everything it knows, its entire worldview, from the data we give it. It has no common sense, no life experience to fall back on. None. And so, when that data is bad, the results can be, well, pretty bad. For example, you train a chatbot on a really narrow style of language, and it's going to have no idea what to do when someone with a different dialect talks to it. Or a financial AI trained on data from before a huge market crash. Its predictions are going to be totally useless. And here's the really tricky part. If that data has our own human biases baked into it, which it often does, the AI will learn to be biased too, leading to some really flawed, really unfair outcomes.
I mean, just look at the difference this makes. With really good, high-quality data, an AI can be amazingly accurate, maybe hitting like 95%. But the second you feed it biased or just incomplete data, look at that performance, it just plummets. The drop-off is, wow, it's staggering. It really shows you how fragile these systems can be. The quality of that data is, quite literally, everything.
Okay, so why should you care about any of this? What's the big deal? Well, it's a huge deal because understanding the limits of any tool is always the first step to using it the right way and using it safely.
All right, so let's do a quick recap of the big three. First, there's that understanding gap.
where AI just doesn't get the why. Think Google Maps. Then you've got the one-trick pony problem, where it's hyper-specialized. That's our self-driving car AI. And finally, it's total dependency on data, where bad data leads to bad results, like those biased chatbots.
You know, once we really see these limits for what they are, we can stop thinking of AI as some kind of perfect, all-knowing brain. And instead, we can see it for what it actually is, a phenomenally powerful but very specialized tool. Yeah, it can do some incredible stuff, but, and this is the crucial part, it's a tool that absolutely demands careful handling, top-notch data, and most importantly, a human in the loop.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. Now that we really get its weaknesses, we can start to get smart about how we use it. How do we build systems that leverage all of AI's amazing strengths, while we, the humans, are there to cover for its weaknesses? Because at the end of the day, knowing what AI can't do, that might just be the real secret to unlocking all the amazing things that it can.